Sometimes, the people you miss the most are the same people God removed to protect you, and that truth hurts. Because when someone leaves your life, your first reaction is pain, not understanding. You replay old memories in your mind. You wonder what changed. You question yourself. You wonder if you were not enough. But sometimes, losing someone has nothing to do with your worth. Sometimes God removes people because He sees what you cannot see. Humans become attached very easily. We get attached to attention, comfort, memories, and emotions. Even when someone is hurting us, we still struggle to let them go. We ignore the disrespect. We ignore the emotional exhaustion. We ignore the anxiety they bring into our lives. Because deep attachment can blind people. And sometimes you hold on to someone so tightly that you don't realize they are slowly destroying your peace. But God sees the full picture. While you were praying for someone to stay, God may already know they are leading you away from your purpose. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay forever. Some people are blessings, others are lessons, and lessons are usually painful. Sometimes God removes people because they were distracting you from growth. Sometimes they were weakening your confidence. Sometimes they were feeding your insecurities. And sometimes they simply could not go where God is taking you. The painful part is that God rarely explains things immediately. That's why sudden goodbyes hurt so much. One day someone talks to you normally, and the next day they feel distant like strangers. No explanation, no closure, just silence. And silence can break a person emotionally, because humans always want answers. But faith means trusting, even when life stops making sense. Sometimes the people you cry over today would have caused even greater pain later. You just cannot see it yet. Loneliness after losing someone can feel terrifying. The silence becomes heavy. The days feel empty. And suddenly you start missing people who were not even good for you, simply because you hate feeling alone. But what if loneliness is not punishment? What if isolation is preparation? Some of the strongest people were built during lonely seasons, because loneliness forces you to face yourself. No distractions, no fake validation, no emotional dependency, just you and your thoughts. And slowly, you begin changing. You discover your real strength. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing people who do not value you. You begin protecting your peace. And that transformation changes everything. One painful truth about life is this: not everyone supports your growth. Some people only like the weaker version of you, the version that accepted disrespect, the version that had no boundaries, the version that constantly chased approval. But once you begin growing, certain people become uncomfortable, because growth changes relationships. And sometimes God removes people from your life because your next chapter requires a different environment. You cannot heal in places that continuously break you. You cannot grow around people who secretly enjoy your weakness. And you cannot become your best self while constantly fighting for acceptance. That's why some endings are necessary, even when they hurt. Years from now, you may look back and finally understand why certain people disappeared from your life. You may realize that losing them protected your mental health, protected your future, protected your peace. Because not every goodbye is punishment. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes God removes people from your life so you can finally become the person you were meant to be. So, if someone recently left your life, take a deep breath. Your story is not over. Some endings are hidden blessings. And sometimes the most painful separations lead to the most powerful transformations. Subscribe to Vethic for more deep life lessons, wisdom, faith, and motivational stories. And remember, God removes certain people from your life, not to destroy you, but to save your future.